Bonjour, Hannah.
Good morning.
Hello, Ninette.
Good morning, Robert. How are you?
Très bien.
You don't look très bien.
Because there's a lot happening.
In the world,
In the world.
Yeah, so many things happening.
And you wake up every day, we're coming to the newsroom. We're people from different nationalities.
Exactly.
And then you try updating yourself with what's going on in the world, and everything is just bad news.
Oh,
Sometimes it wears you down.
Yes,
pas seulement.
but not only bad
Totally.
news, we also have the good news in the on the African continent. For example, in Ghana, we have this artist. His name, I've forgotten the name, but he's an artist. He draws while doing gymnastics at the same time.
Okay.
It's never happened on the continent. None has ever done
We'd
this.
love to have an exclusive.
That is an exclusive. So our viewers, if you want to watch more on that, you can go to our different platforms, Africanews.com, to just watch that. It's called The Gymnastics Artist from Ghana. Anyway, apart from that, Africa is a continent of festivals. We saw the Charlie Water Festival.
Yeah.
We had last week in Kenya, in East Africa, we had the Slum Film Festival. So the Slum Film Festival, it ended last week on Friday. It started on Monday and went through till Friday. It saw quite a number of filmmakers from across the continent and from all over the world as well, gathering and to just showcase the different talents and work that they have. So film lovers as well as media organizations, media organizations, film marketers and distributors, and even government and development agencies all gathered in Nairobi, Kenya to just attend this festival.
I understand it's the first of its kind too.
No, it's not actually the very first. It's the first of its kind on the generally, this has never happened. It's not really that known, but it's actually on its 6th year. This was the 6th edition.
Mais alors, quel est l'objectif de ce festival?
What is the aim of this festival?
The main aim of this festival, apart from just watching the film, the participants aim to raise awareness on what's happening in the slum setup. So that different stakeholders can be able to bring about some form of societal transformation or changes in these societies. So the talents of these slum artists also get to be promoted and at the same time discovered, because the Slum Film Festival demonstrates that the slums are also a home for very talented and very active, culturally active people. Yes.
Now, just before slums, you'll never miss a slum in any part of the world. There's always be somewhere that has a slum.
Unfortunately, it's not a good thing, but slums are everywhere, not only in Africa, all over the world. We have slums. So the film festival, this particular film festival is very unique in that it is dedicated to share slum stories. And just as we've said that slums are all over the world, where this festival was held, the Slum Film Festival in Kenya. Kenya has the largest urban slum in Africa. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the Kibera slums. So what do you witness? What exactly do you witness in slums? Extreme poverty, high rates of unemployment.
There's a lot going on in the slums. And the first thing that people really mistake with slums, and it's a lie, I'd say that's where I started my career from, is always crime, high levels of crime. But slums are the safest place you can be in any city if you're an insider. To outsiders, it looks a little bit strange. Exactly. It looks a little bit strange because they're not used to that kind of life, so they feel threatened. Yes. But once you know people, even if you're a stranger in a slum and you know your way around, you'll be fine.
Vous n'avez pas tort parce que même à Rio, justement, il y a des guides qui montrent que les favelas sont pas si dangereuses.
Even in Rio, it's the same situation with Rio.
We had people there was high levels of insecurity, especially in the slum dwellings. Yes, so the Kibera slum, I've just said that there's high rates of unemployment, crime, as you've mentioned, poverty. There's even the high prevalence of diseases like HIV, AIDS. So these problems are not only in Kenya, as we've said, it's all over the world, in Africa and in other continents across the world. So that's about the Slum Film Festival.
That was, it looks amazing. I was looking at some of the pictures and they do screenings to people?
Yeah, they do screenings. Slum dwellers are able to just watch different films that have been nominated
also people submit the films and they screen them to the slum dwellers.
Exactly.
Est-ce que vous avez des films en particulier?
Do you have a particular film?
You can go to our website and we'll be able to give you all those details on our website. So so as I said, Africa is a continent of festivals. That was just the Slum Film Festival. But Africa should watch out for the South African Jazz Festival coming up. And we also have the Lagos Fashion Week coming up.
I think that's
everybody's waiting for that. So speaking about films, we look at a film now that was released in Cameroon. And I'm talking about La Patrie d'abord. So what does La Patrie d'abord mean? Robert, let me start with you. La Patrie d'abord.
I have no idea.
Non, essayez.
I have no idea.
Just try.
I have no idea. It could have an inside meaning, I think.
Well, the first meaning, c'est the country first.
Exactly. So La Patrie d'abord, my country first, or my homeland first. So this is the film by filmmaker, film director Thierry Ntamak from Cameroon. He's an actor and he's also a film director. So this is the very first war film to ever been produced in Cameroon. Yes.
Cameroon is going places.
Oh my God, Cameroon is going places in terms of music, in terms of food. We'll look at L'Écran Noir. So many things are happening in Cameroon, and I really love Cameroonian music. We'll really set a date to just talk about Cameroonian music as well. So what does Thierry Ntamak talk about in this film? He talks about the love of one's country and that one can be able to do whatever it takes to protect his or her country, even if it means going to war. So this is basically patriotism for one's country. Yes. So that's about. And people would be asking, is it the first film production by this film director?
Like we were saying, Africa has a potential of producing very good films based on its literary, the literature, the African literature. And I think how we portray that in films can really put the film industry really forward. That's
very true, Robert. And just talking about films, we had already looked at a film here from Nigeria. What was the name of the film again?
CEO?
The CEO.
The CEO, that brought people from different cultures.
All over the continent, different cultures, all meeting up to just come up with the amazing film, The CEO. But Thierry Ntamak, what really inspired him to come up with this film is his love for the country, and especially now that he was talking about the armed forces of Cameroon. He talks about the love of his country, that you can do whatever it takes to just protect your country. But it's not the first production of Thierry Ntamak. So the first two films he produced were a hit in the country. And by the look of things, this film is also set to be a hit. So the first two films were Sur la route d'un ange, and then we also had Le Blanc de Yenga 1 and 2. And Le Blanc de Yenga 1 and 2 basically talks about the desire to leave Cameroon in search of greener pastures, to go to France. So in this latest...
une question très actuelle.
It's a very common problem, especially on the African continent. So many people are leaving the continent to go to the diaspora to just look for greener pastures. But I believe we have the greener pastures right here.
If your pasture is not green, water it to make it green.
Exactly, you have to water it to make it green.
Cameroon has a history of doing patriotic stuff, including songs and films. And I don't know if you guys remember the Zangalewa group. The Kibe Zangalewa. That song was originally sung by people who were patriotic to their country, and it was in praise of the war veterans who had gone to the war and were taken for the war.
Okay, so let me not say much about the film. Just a sneak peek of the film for our viewers. Take a look.
Êtes-vous prêt pour le tir?
Affirmatif.
3, 2, 1.
There you have it, just a trailer of La Patrie d'abord. But anyway, we have the man himself, Thierry Ntamak, to just explain to us why he came up with this film. Hello, Mr. Ntamak. Why a war film?
I wanted to produce a film in tribute of our defense forces. I thought Cameroonians are in no sight of war, and then as a filmmaker, it's a duty to remember. I wanted to be contented with the RIP in memory of the fallen soldiers on the battlefield. For me, it's a great honor. I feel honored. I'm very lucky. You know, I had the advantage of war helicopters, warships, support on combat strategies, rifle guns, and which helped with the sequences of the filming.
Okay, and how did you just go about the whole film, the preparations, for example?
Many thanks to the Cameroonian army. As we know, there are some studios in the world, great nations like United States, France, who started filmmaking to convey key messages, Republican messages. So making a nationalistic film was important at the period where we were attacked. We actually made a film. We actually make a film that actually reminds us that in all things the country comes first. And above all, military leaders reviewed my projects. They do not have the same view as you and I do concerning war. They live between life and death in unimaginable seconds, unimaginable speed. So it's important to honor these men. These men are guardians of our liberty.
Merci beaucoup, Monsieur Thierry. Well, that was it from Mr. Thierry Ntamak. But it's a new film for Cameroonians with a new cinema hall that was just opened last month. Yeah, so I'm talking about the Olympia Canal Cinema Hall.
Merci, Lynette. On se retrouve.
Thanks, Lynette. See you next